Beep beep, what is up ninjas? My name is Samuel and today we're going to discuss the drop leads. Now that's what we're going to be doing. I have 5 students I have to meet with today, so today's video is a fairly quick one, a fairly fast one, hopefully not an hour long. But pretty much guys, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to teach you guys how to get the drop lead for the melody we already have. Remember, the melody is going to be the same in the break and in the drop. Now I might switch this along the line because if I feel like, you know what, I think there could be something catchier on the drop, but we're going to be doing that right now guys. So hopefully you guys learn enough from this video. What I want you to learn is a technique that I'm going to show you, because a lot of you guys download FLP remix and you copy the mixing of the FLP remake and you just keep using it over and over again expecting for it to work. So hopefully in this video you get a little bit more confidence to do it yourself guys. I know a lot of people out there just say put this, put that, but I'm going to explain it down to the bone for you guys so you know what's going on and so that you can decide whether you need it or not. So let's get straight into this.
Alright guys, so we're back in the project file, and honestly yesterday I wasn't really feeling this track as much, but today it's a totally different story. I'm actually enjoying it. So couple things I like is I like this right here. I like this little pluck we added that creates a lot of tension. It just gives so much to it. I also like the atmospheric vibe of the break. It doesn't sound generic at all here. When the plug comes in, it starts to sound a little bit generic, which isn't bad, okay? And then we go into the, which I really like as well. It reminds me of that old school Blaster Jacks kind of stuff where they had those very anthemic melodies. All right, so today we're going to be working on the drop, guys. And pretty much on the drop, I'm going to teach you guys, like I said, a way that I do this to mix my leads properly every single time. It works really well. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to sound exactly like Hardwell on the drop. And I don't expect you guys to try and sound exactly like your favorite artist if you're doing what we're doing for this track. Just because, you know, first off, if you do get it, you put in all that work. Okay, what's the point? Everyone's going to say you sound like fucking Ollie James. Second, you know, you're gonna kill yourself over it, and you know, that's not the point guys. There's more than one correct answer when you're working on music. You know, there's been times where I've heard music on Revealed and spinning, I'm like, man, that lead sounds horrible, like what the fuck. But then I read the comments and everyone's praising the lead, praising the track, praising the drop. So it goes to show, you know, some people might think, oh, this is no fuck, this lead is not like Hardwell exactly, so it sucks. So I've set up a couple of silents here. I'm just gonna duplicate that, and we have here our MIDI for the drop. So my first lead is called Lead Simple. My next lead is going to be a breakdown saw, which is the super saw here. Now, the reason I'm picking this is because I know they're going to work for this anthemic kind of vibe if that's what we're trying to go for. Next thing I'm going to do is to go with a breakdown saw over here. There we go. So we're going to have this right now. Yep. Notice how it doesn't sound good. That's where we come in and get the correct layers on it. So first off, the new ones we introduced are in stereo. So I'm just going to call them stereo just to know from a get-go that they're my stereo leads. The next thing is going to be leveling everything, but I want to focus in on this lead first. Make sure the reverb and delay is off. And then we're going to move on. On this one, I don't like how it's so woo-woo. It has a long tail to it, so we're gonna lower the release on it. And this is a good sign, you know, this is a good reason to know sound design, guys, is so that you can lower release on stuff in case, you know, you don't want that tail. Notice when I take off the reverb and delay, the saw just comes directly in my face. Push to the back. In my face. This is why I always get rid of reverbs and delays. They've done me dirty. They ain't loyal. They fucked me over in the past and I just can't be with them no more. AKA silent tone, reverb, and delay, of course. Okay, moving on. Same thing here. We get rid of that. Alright, so once we have that, the next thing I want to do is, you know, you can tell these have like a bit of white noise in them. You gotta, right out of the get-go, only have one layer that's gonna have that white noise, because if you have an abundance of white noise, you're gonna get a drop where it's like shh, 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 all the time, and you don't want that. Now the next thing here, no white noise on that. And a little bit here, but we're gonna get rid of it. There we go. So that's our layer right now. And now the next thing to do obviously is going to be the EQ. And the EQ is not going to be too hard individually, guys. We're just going to get rid of, you know, lows we don't need. I'm going to do a cut here. Mainly get rid of it because you can see the Ableton EQ8 is still letting a bit of that frequency through. Moving on. Again, the thing that sounds nasty is this. So we're getting rid of that. Go on the next. All right, cool. So we have now. Now I'm gonna send it to the reverb. Now the next thing I do, guys, is I have the Hardwell track up here, and I'm not gonna play it because I'll get, you know, copyrighted. But what I want to do now is I want to see how loud it is first. So you can see it's around -5. So I'm going to get a master for my track where it's going to be around -5 as well. And honestly, I always use Ozone for this. I just go with Ozone 7. It's the one I have right now. I haven't upgraded to 8 yet. And we're going to drop it in. And we're going to pick just a preset. Where the fuck? Let me drop you in. It doesn't want to get dropped in. What the fuck? It knows it's like, fuck this track. I don't want to master this track. All right. What the fuck? That's the first time that's happened. That's weird. All right. If that's not going to work, we'll just go with an invisible limiter or something. So let's do the invisible limiter. There we go. That's going to work. There we go. Close enough with -6. Now, the next thing we do is get a span on it. Now, the span is going to show me the frequencies of the Hardwell track, and there's a couple of tricks that I'm going to show you. So first off, when we hear the Hardwell track, this is all going to be the lead, obviously. So we know our lead needs to look something like this. Not identical, but somewhere along those lines where the leads are louder than the low end itself. As you can see, the highs are less than this guy as well. Keep that in mind. That's the mistake I see a lot of people. They have too much highs over here. So you can see right now my bass is too high. My mids are same as high, so I have to do a couple of EQs there for my leads. So the first thing I'm gonna do actually is use a Camel Crusher. This is gonna apply compression and saturation to my lead, British clean. And it gets rid of, first off, it gets rid of little clicks in the image of, if you were to put this in a waveform and you saw the waveform or the oscilloscope, sometimes you would see these random clicks. Saturation is a good way to get rid of those, and a lot of people don't know that's what Camel Crusher is doing with its saturation as well as compression. So a little bit of good stuff there from it. So from there, what we're going to do is put a bit of an OTT in, just a tiny bit of it. A lot of the times you can tell something needs OTT because it doesn't sound that tight. You can see it kind of mellows it out because without this on, it just makes this shit like fucking too loud. In the sense of like the saturation and all that. So this kind of tames it down, but like, yo, come the fuck down. Okay, you get it. So pretty much right from there, guys, we're going to apply also a glue compressor, a very short one where the attack and release are set all the way low on it for one reason. It's just to get those little clicks. There we go. Now we're going to EQ. Now the EQ is where it's really going to go. If you remember what I said in the song of Hardwell, his leads, the way they're mixed, you can see that the mids on them are a lot louder than the highs themselves. So that's what we're going to do. Now we're going to look at the span. It's kind of getting there where we want it. Notice the difference. So whenever you feel like your leads are just not in your face, they don't have body to them, always boost around 500 hertz to 600 to 700. It just depends the key you're in, what harmonies you need to get up. Using Viagra to get it up right there. There we go. Now individually, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I want to EQ them too. reduce a little bit there, just a tiny bit. On this one, for sure, I think, yeah, this one has some harshness in it. Usually 300 hertz is the culprit. Not much on that one. That one's perfect. Now, if you hear this, notice that my kick is too fucking so we gotta lower it down. And you can still see we have too much height. It's gonna be this guy right here. So let me see if I can turn this on. There we go, there we go. So this needs to be a lot louder. Now, if you notice, I'm not gonna make it louder. First off, one, it already sounds kind of like it's lacking a bit of the high. So I'm already like, yo, I'm gonna have to give it a little bit of life there. The other thing too is we don't have to sound exactly identical as his spectrum. That's the way he has it, but use it as a guiding point, like I said, to kind of give you an idea of if your highs are too loud or not. Now we're gonna LFO that so it sounds a little better. Get this ozone in, maybe it'll work. I'm gonna close it and open if it doesn't work. There we go, now it works. Okay, so we're gonna get this ozone real fast that we're gonna use for the accentuated there. It's gonna help us with a bit of the high end as well that we get rid of. We're gonna put this right here. Just lower this guy. So there we go. We're going to have that right now. So that's the way we have our leads. Now, we're going to do a couple more things to make this sound a little bit fuller. One, he has white noise going through his drop. So with the white noise, we're pretty much going to get just some white noise from the pack itself, which again, you can find it over at Evil Sounds. And what we're going to do here is go with the white noise. This one's good there. Now, one of the things to note about his white noise is that he has it in mono because his leads are very stereo-ish. And that's actually a very smart thing to do. So that's what we're going to do as well. Put your fucking hands up! So we're gonna get this guy again and just EQ it a bit. Now I want the leads to be, the reverb to be hella. We're gonna EQ it. All right, so there we have it. Now let's add a bit of effects because I have to go in 7 minutes now. My students are gonna be like, where the fuck are you? I'm like, bitch, I'm making a video for you. All right, so let's see. We're in D sharp, obviously. So yeah, we could do that. Up one on it. Go fast, lower. kick drum's still a bit too loud, so it looks like I'm gonna have to EQ that motherfucker. That kick drum, man, it's not being friendly to us. It's not loyal. It's not a loyal kick drum, so let's give it up. There we go. Now, a little bit too much highs on it, as you can see. But what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to use EQ on the master to reduce on that, just in case it's coming from the white noise or something else. A bit too much reverb on that, so let's ease up on it too. And we should be done for today's video, guys. We're gonna put the glue in the front, actually. Let's see a little bit more, maybe a bit more bounce. All right, there we go. So I'm happy with it where it's at there. Of course, we're going to be fine-tuning as we go along with the drop. We're going to add more stuff to it, and hopefully we can get it to sound better and, you know, bigger. But that's going to be it, guys. Now, another track that I'm also referencing for this is going to be this one. Let me show it to you guys. Now, a thing to note about this one is that the leads are not going to be that anthemic. It's going to be more of that lazy lead that I showed you guys how to make in a previous video of mine. So it's kind of like the same idea as well. There we go. So it's kind of like the same vibe, except this is just a little bit more anthemic kind of song. And then if we hear this, you can kind of see the leads on his are just a bit tad different. These are a bit too much super saw, as you can see. So we might change that in future videos. But for now, I'm liking the way they sound. And it's just a simple preset switch and getting rid of reverbs and delays to kind of fine tune things. But we'll keep going from here, guys. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm also going to do the kick a bit. So not like that, but just a little notch there. I'm going to add a bit of compression because I feel like that's what it's lacking for this track itself. So I'm going to put a ratio of 4 on that and pull down. Whoa! Put your fucking head! White noise is a bit too harsh, so I'm gonna apply reverb to kind of make it more atmospheric. So right now it sounds pretty dope, guys. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Again, we're referencing that Hardwell Earthquake song to kind of not to the boom boom, but we're going into our own little thing here. This just reminds me of old school Blaster Jack. So maybe I need to change the title. But anyways, guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying the series. I hope that it's helping you guys. I hope that you're getting cool tricks and tips out of it. That is the purpose of it. The video itself, the video series is not about like, yo, I'm a better producer than you. No, in all honesty, try and see people make stuff live. It never works out like as intended. Like, oh, I'm going to come up with amazing ideas. But I'm trying to make it work for you guys, and I'm going to go through the deep. Doesn't matter if I fuck up on a track badly, so that you guys can see everything and how I go about and fixing it. So right now, as of now, I think this sounds pretty good. pretty good on my end. I love the way it sounds. Very anthemic, very old school blaster jacks, to the point where I might even change the drop. We'll see where we go with it. But right now, I'm really digging it. I'm really enjoying it. I might change the melody, like I said. I'm iffy on it. But every time I go to that Space Jungle track by Showtek, their melody also is not that, yeah, it doesn't even change. It doesn't have variation, but it still sounds good. I think it might be because of the visuals where I'm seeing people going crazy, so maybe that's what I need for this track. A lot of times we tend to overthink things. Put it on top of another. Just make sure the mixing is there. That's what we really want. We want it to sound good mixing wise. That's the key thing. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna let it here. I'm gonna let it go here. Again, you know, make sure to hit a like, leave a comment if you want to comment on anything, and I'll see you guys next time tomorrow for another video for this series.